everyone, and welcome to Pass the Mic. Today I have on the show with me two amazing, beautiful, fantastic, outrageously daring women that are saying yes to the world in a very different way. Say hello to Katherine and Krista.
Hey everybody!
And they are from the Holy Fuck Podcast. That's right. Holy Fuck Podcast, baby. Because sometimes we have to understand that life calls forth a good fuck. Did I say that?
Love it.
So, ladies, I love, obviously, the name of your show, but before we get into that, we have a song to sing.
Yes, we do.
What's our song today?
True Colors.
Isn't that perfect? Perfect. All right.
I see your true colors shining through.
I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Oh, that was sweet.
That's
All right. Yeah, it was awesome.
Great.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. That's a great song, and I think it goes with you two beautiful ladies.
Thank you, and you too.
Thank you.
Hello, Red.
Anybody that knows me, you know I love red. So let's just dive right in.
Okay.
How the heck did you come up with your name for your podcast?
Well, we did it.
We didn't. Spirit did. And we said, well,
Fuck yeah.
we said, fuck yeah. And then Krista went home and I called her. I'm like, fuck no. I'm a minister. I can't be on there saying, holy fuck all over the place. She was very patient. She held space and she said, just stay with it.
Yeah.
And then I realized we were really gonna do this because it says everything. Because our story is heaven on earth. And fuck is earth and holy is heaven. And we're like, bring it together, kids. Have as much fun as you want to have. Bring that spirit onto this planet.
Yes.
Make it fun.
Make it fun.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be so serious all the time.
Never should it be serious.
Yeah.
I am such a kid at heart.
And joy is one of the highest attributes of God, right? You look at Dalai Lama, you're like, that man crying?
Okay.
He's like,
Joy is absolutely, and one of the things I love that you touched on it, Katherine, that Krista brought the light to. When people are in a religious or spiritual container, there's this misnomer that, you can't cuss, you can't
fuck.
you fuck,
Drink,
whatever. And it's like, who could do that? Because we're all here for an expression, to expand life. So I love that. How did you know when you felt the call? And I know it came from spirit, but to stand in that, because it's easy to give in,
Right.
Because, the world says, no, that's not what a minister should be doing, or saying, or participating in.
Good thing I wasn't a minister. That's why. But I still had my own reservations about it, being a mom and, going, my kids are going to hear this, and how am I going to, is that what I want to put out in the world?
Okay.
And then I was like, well, it feels very authentic to me, and it's the perfect combination of these two sides that I have.
Yes.
And ultimately, I want my kids to feel that they can be who they are in the world, no matter what side it is. And so it kind of just gave me permission to be myself and be like, this is it. This is who I am.
I love that. I love that. Now, how long has the podcast been going?
We've been recording since July, and we put it out, I think, in August.
Oh, awesome.
So we have 38 episodes, and it's just been so fun. And I think the thing that we're alluding to with the holy fuck and it being is that we're super authentic.
Yes.
So it's like, all sorts of stuff has shown up on this show, and some of it's massively embarrassing. Mm-hmm. And our listeners are like, yeah, that's what happens. You get an STI, or you have a bad day, or, you gotta go talk to your doctor, and how does your boyfriend treat you when that happens? And just really playing it all the way through. And our tagline is, 2 gals on the prowl for enlightenment, sex, and all things holy.
How great is that?
Yeah.
Tell them one more time.
Okay. it's 2 gals on the prowl for enlightenment, sex, and all things holy.
Is that not God? I don't know what it is. I mean, that's the essence. That's the spirit. Because it amazes me. People get so on their high horse. It's like, how did you get here?
We have a low horse.
No, I think your horse is the high. I think that's the high horse. I think the low horse is all the bull crap that people try to put on other people and shame and blame. It's like we all got here butt naked.
That's for sure.
And we all got here by someone holy fucking.
Yeah, somebody holy fucking.
But no one's talking about it. That's the thing.
But if you didn't call me, I'd like to know.
Because then you're Jesus.
Jesus, even Jesus.
I got some questions about the Jesus thing. But one of the things also that rides underneath this whole thing for us is this passion for knowing that embodied in this lifetime, we're supposed to live fully. And Jesus did that.
Absolutely.
He was like a drinker and a partier, and he was hanging out with that Mary Magdalene. And
somebody just went click.
I know, but it's true. And he was always in trouble. He was always in trouble from the holy people. You are not holy enough. He's like, I don't need holy. I need people. I need to love people.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that really guides us is also feeling like the consciousness of what Jesus and Mary Magdalene were bringing onto the planet, this massive amount of love that they brought together, that we all know is there. We're like, this has to be on the planet right now. So this is our way in our culture of bringing that kind of feminine, massive energy with a lot of honoring and respect, and still some crass, hey,
I mean, such is life.
Who's your baby, right?
Such is life. I mean, nature shows us all the time. For me, nature always exudes this beautiful presence, but we have no idea what it goes through to become.
Right.
A rose is beautiful, but it does have thorns. Right. And they will prick you, and it does hurt.
So we're all about sharing our thorns.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that every week it's like,
we
here's
got
my
some
little
thorns.
tender place, and here's my hurt spot, and this is my trauma, and we're just sharing it because we know that everybody has a thorn.
Everybody.
And the more we talk about it, there's commonality, and we can see ourselves in other people's stories, and that's where the healing begins.
That's so where the healing begins, that we can start to take a look at each other, not as separate individual, but not that we're separate. People have family problems, career, life, financial, money. Did we say money?
Did we say money?
Did we say money? Money.
Sex, money.
All of it. And all of it is this beautiful whirling pool that is birthing us every day.
Absolutely.
So I think that's really hot. So now, Minister, Reverend Katherine.
So can I just share that my congregation always called me the irreverent? They still do.
Now, what type of reverend are you?
I was religious science, and I segued myself and my congregation into an interreligious, sort of universal spirituality, the same way Agape did, at the same time, which was not planned. So we stepped outside any affiliation with any kind of church, because even within the loose boundaries that we found around religious science, we felt some restrictions. Yeah. So we were like, we're not going to be restricted.
Okay.
So we called it taking down the walls and inviting everyone in. Yeah. And so we really wanted people to have their own religion and their own culture, but we wanted to share love. Yeah. And I had some great people in my congregation, lovely. I had some bikers who came and prayed for us during the service because they were sure we were all going to hell. They were awesome, and they just, one day, this one man is such a sweet story. His name is Lucky.
Lucky.
And he was born again, and just this, and his jacket said "Satan sucks" on the back. He was such a kind giant, and he came to me and he said, "I must talk to you." And so we went outside, and he said, "I must tell you that I was in church praying for your souls and the souls of your congregation because you are the Antichrist.
Oh.
And God said to me, 'Look up.' And so I did, and when I looked up, I realized I had never experienced this kind of love."
Wow.
And so,
wow.
he was completely transformed.
Wow, that's awesome. That is amazing. This journey, a beautiful thing called life, and the spiritual and religious journey, I think it's really powerful when people get that there's not one right one or one wrong one, or it has to be done this way or that way. I'm very much about energy and vibration. And so it's really palpable when you have someone that comes in with a thought of that, this is wrong.
You're the Antichrist.
You're going to hell.
For sure.
And the energy and vibration of love comes in and takes over.
Yeah. It wasn't anything I was doing.
Yeah.
It was this space and the fullness of love.
That's always there. So now, Krista, how did you meet Katherine?
We met in our third year of school at USM.
Oh, you went to USM. Both of you went to USM.
That's right.
We didn't know each other. We both lived in Ojai, but we hadn't really met before. And even through the school year, we weren't really close. But after the school year was done, we decided to continue doing some studies together and taking some online classes and connecting and continuing all of our skills. And it just kind of blossomed into this beautiful friendship and partnership, and
because we're both full of it. And we love being full of it, and we love sharing that kind of silly, outrageous parts of ourselves. Because you could ask Krista what outrageous part of herself that she used to share on a stage somewhere.
Oh.
That
That sounds interesting.
It is interesting.
Do tell.
I mean, it probably has led me to this moment of doing the podcast. So I used to run a children's theater here in Ojai. I was a teacher.
Oh, how beautiful.
That nonprofit. There's not a lot of money in nonprofit theater, right? Okay. So in my attempt to raise money for the theater, I would take whatever musical they were putting on for that semester, and I would write kind of a naughty adult version of it. And I would get all these adults together who, some had performing experience, but really just, please come play this role. And we would just get up on stage and make complete asses out of ourselves and just have fun. And it's where I probably finally broke out of my shell and just said, fuck it, I don't care what people think. And I think it gave me the permission to do something like this podcast.
Isn't that free?
So free.
Oh, so freeing. That's so awesome to step into that. Now, did you guys have people that would come to the performances?
Yeah, that was the point. Come pay us money to watch
Raise money for children's shows.
But it was very much like they knew that none of us were professionals, so it was like the fun part of it was just to come and like laugh at everybody for getting their lines or walking on line with their script like, oh, where the fuck am I?
That's outrageously creative. I think it's really, really cool. And these are the things that the more you start to step into who you are, you can hear this call. And when you say yes to it, how beautiful and powerful it is. Because then you do meet up at the time when both of you were ready for one another. And that blows me away because you were around one another, living
4 blocks away.
Living 4 blocks away. But this journey that brought you, I love how the universe, if we say yes to it, it will bring us and things and people that we are to co-create with.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will bring us
just
together.
right to us. Right?
Yeah.
Just like we found you. Krista went and saw you singing, and she was like, "Whoa, watch this!
Fantastic!"
And she puts it. I'm like, "Oh my god, I gotta know who that is." Poor thing, I was like stalking you for another week. I was like, "Gino, how do I know you? You're amazing. Oh, you're from Agape. Okay." Fabulous.
No, it was really awesome. Ojai is just a small little community, but because people travel, people are exposed, and you do have people that are creative and behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. It's small, but it's very eclectic.
Yeah.
And I love that about Ojai. They're talking about the Martin Luther King. I was keynote speaker for Martin Luther King Day, and it was beautiful.
You were amazing.
And singing.
I mean, I walked off the street because I'm like, who's that singing? What's going on? I was like, oh. And all your words, just resonated so deeply. So you really touched the community that day.
It was a beautiful thing. I really love it. It has inspired me in such a way that recognizing Martin Luther King, the dream that he talked about, we're starting to see the deeper aspects of that dream. That it's more than a location and a school and a housing. It really is what I believe. It's our minds, and what you two ladies have done with your podcast, the holy fuck, is that you're requiring people literally to go beyond this little mindset that you've had to burst into what's calling forth. And I think that is so powerful.
Thank you.
It really is, because it's easy to go, oh, God is good, God is great. But when you're in the storm,
right. That's so hard to feel that, because you're like, my God! Like, what the fuck, God? Holy fuck, God! And I think that's what we're demonstrating, is like, when you're having that moment, maybe think that way, or maybe shift that way, and just these little tiny things that we can do to change our mindset that brings such peace inside.
Absolutely. And power.
Yeah,
And
definitely
power. Your own inner power.
Absolutely.
That's very, very powerful, to be able to be in the midst of the storm and not be swept away by the storm, and know that you can guide your way through this. And I do believe that it's people like you, like me, that we are presenting another possibility to people.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, people act like they've never said fuck before. I love the word fuck.
It's so great.
It's so triggering for people, though. It's
hilarious.
Amazing how triggering it is for people.
Now, on your podcast, do you also accept calls in?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's definitely something I think we would both love to do, and we just technologically we're not savvy enough yet.
I know the technical thing.
And right now we're so into each other.
It's just about us.
Now, when people come and they listen, because I've listened to your podcast, it's really cool, and I know I made a comment, and one of you, I forget, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
It doesn't matter. We're holy fuck.
Yeah. You responded back to me. I was like, oh, how cool is that? I was like, hey. Because people do like the interaction, and I'm starting to see that more and more, that it's not just putting content out there.
No, we want to hear.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
is the interaction. So you're also on Facebook?
We're on Facebook, and one of the other things we're doing is we're about to do a workshop. So we're going to do 7 months, once a month.
Okay.
So we're going to give a 2-hour workshop. It's basically just trying to give people a sense of us, a taste of us in person.
Oh, wow.
If people want to do that.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So
we'll have the information.
We have a flyer.
Okay, and I'll have all the information
Thank you.
On the show below, because that's really awesome to have that. So you can get an opportunity to come to the presence of the holiness here and be
No pressure there.
Holiness is living, it's everyday living. And so, we will have all of the information below. We'll have the information below for the podcast, Facebook, so that you can stay in touch and reach out. I just think it's really important that we communicate with one another, and that's really cool. So, now, you have this amazing podcast. How many days a week do you do the show?
We record 1 time a week.
Okay.
And then the rest of the week is doing the business part.
Yeah.
Has to happen.
Isn't that the fun
Who knew?
part?
When we just thought we were going to plug in and record some fun stuff and pop it up, they were like, oh shit, this is like a real job. We got to actually produce it?
Yes.
I need a bank account? What?
Yeah, isn't that so? I mean, it's amazing finding all those things that come along with it. You know, I love all the commercials, the infomercials on YouTube. You can make $5 million in 2 minutes.
That's right. Just the best 2 minutes of your life. You better.
Just click the link below and I'll show you how.
That's so good.
So, I mean, finding the creative aspect of it, I'm sure you enjoy that.
So much.
Yeah.
That's
like
where we're happy together.
Okay.
It's in the fun
Together.
side.
So, otherwise, we're not happy.
I know the business part does have to be done.
It does.
And so, you know, I try to create this energy that the business is also definitely a joyous part.
Yeah, and can I say something about,
Absolutely.
so one of the things that we're doing specifically is addressing relationships. And that's really important. And because we are one, we're struggling with our own relationships sometimes. So just, you know, business relationship, friend relationship, which one are we in right now? And how are we managing all the details of that and all the things, except we're not working sex together. We're just being clear. Other people
Just
can.
wanted to
We're
let
good
you
with
know.
whatever your choice is. This one isn't that. But so we're experimenting and we're learning too. So it's not like we have a complete product. And part of our lower tagline is stumbling through life, parenting and everything. Because what we want everybody to know is it's a journey.
It is.
And we're on this amazing journey. And like looking in your eyes and talking to you, it makes the journey get expanded and full and beautiful. And when she and I are doing that, and then we're off screen for a while and we're like,
Didn't I tell you to do that?
You said you were going to do it.
I mean, we're not I think a lot of people go, oh, they have this show called Holy Fuck. They must think they're up here. And it's like, no, we actually know where we are.
We're on the path.
We're willing to share it, and we're willing to say this is how we're able to get up in the morning because we have these tools or we have, you know, these ways of working through stuff together because everyone's in partnership somehow, whether it's at a job or parenting or with their pet or extended family. So everyone is working the partnership in some way, and it gets tricky sometimes.
A lot of times. I mean, I always say relationships teach us how we love ourselves or how we're not.
Absolutely.
Loving ourselves. Yeah.
We all three got that one.
Bing, 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 bing.
But really, and you know, one of the other things, Gina, that we do is because we're related to each other, because there's two of us, we often can guide one when we get lost. So like if Krista's in a place that's struggly, I can just hold space and I can be an invitation. And when I'm in a struggly space, not pretending she's the struggly one.
It's just Krista.
It's just Krista. She's the problem.
She's got the issues.
So when I'm in a struggling place, which you will find quite frequently, maybe we'll just put out the Catherine's Vagina episode. And Krista got to help me get through that. And we coach each other the way we do in our practice with people. So people can hear, oh, they're loving, they're kind, and we're getting another chance to relive this moment, decide who we want to be, how do we want to relate to, even if we've made a mistake and related in a way that's painful to someone, how do we come back and own it and love ourselves, forgive it, and then go back out and say, we're sorry. You know, all of those choices that are the choices of the new evolutionary mind.
I mean, like when you show up for our business meetings, it starts with the prayer, the calling in, and then it goes straight to what are you going through and what am I going through? Because if we don't get it out of the way, then we're trying to do business together, but we're still thinking about this thing that happened with our family or our kid or something, and we can't be present for the business.
I love that.
So part of our process is to come to work and express ourselves to each other, share, cry, give each other massages, and get to work.
I love that. I think that's so powerful because I always say that everything is a gift. And no matter what is happening, and that's a different mindset that I had to start really living in, because when things would hit the fan, I thought, this is a funky ass gift. I'm just say it.
Where's a pony? Where's a pony? All I see.
But what I'm hearing you two beautiful lights talk about is that when you live a practice, not talk a practice, when you live a practice, that has to be implemented every day.
Oh my!
Every moment.
Yes.
Every moment.
Yes. You know, I mean, the beautiful thing about New Thought, and that's not for people of a faint heart or unity. You must become a warrior in how you live and how you're willing to show up naked.
Absolutely.
And that's what you ladies do together, which that's a beautiful relationship, to be able to go, hey, this is how we're going to set our business plan. You guys have set your motto.
Yeah.
I dig that, baby. That is awesome.
Thank you. And I really appreciate you pointing that out, because one of the things that's so important is that we live by guidance. So we listen, and like 2 weeks ago we did a show called Faith, because we didn't know what the fuck we were talking about. We're like, hey guys, we don't know what to talk about today.
I guess we'll have some faith. And we push record and we're like, is this thing on? And it was actually probably one of the best episodes we've done in a while.
I love it.
There was no plan.
No plan.
You trusted.
We did.
You trusted.
And that's how, there are days when Krista comes in with something that's big enough, or I come in with something that's big enough, that we never record. Like, we just spend 5 hours figuring, sorting, loving, changing, healing, lying on the floor crying. I'm having a heart attack one day. We're like calling in spirit, get us some guns, man, come on!
Because you can't be creative and fun and joyful if you're going with
No, you cannot.
So why fight it?
You cannot.
So don't fight it.
That's a whole nother way of living.
It is.
And I think that's what we're birthing into. There's a channeler called Bashar. And Bashar is like from another planet. So don't freak out, people.
Don't freak out.
It's okay.
It's going to be good.
But I love how Abraham, for those of you that know Abraham is very rainbow colors. Bashar is very black and white. But they both speak the same language in understanding that within you there is everything, always. Yes. But we must take the time to practice it.
Yes.
People say I have a meditation in the morning, and then by the time they get to their car, they cussing out everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And
We've never done that.
Every day.
I'm meditating.
This is what makes it so real for people to get that there's not this luminous light that's going to hit you.
There might be.
We might get that, and then it drops away, though. Right?
But it does. I'm saying, there's not. People think of Jesus as though Jesus never had a day.
He had some bad days.
He had some days of absolute growth. How do we grow without it?
I know.
It's impossible. If every day was the same, nothing would change. Nature is not the same. We have 4 freaking different seasons.
And spring, which we're in now, is all about fucking. I just want you to know.
I need to get on the train. I love it. This is so awesome. So let me ask you this.
Sure.
For your show,
Yes.
what is the possibility you think your show can do out in the world?
Okay.
I'm going to ask you.
I'm going to just answer this in the clearest way I can.
Yes.
So we expect this show to speak to women first.
Okay.
To open their hearts to themselves and know that their experience is holy, no matter what it is. Whether we're talking about abortion, because you belong to a church that won't let you talk about the fact that you had one, but you had one and now you think you're outside God. It's like, no, you're not.
Yes.
You're right here in God with us, and we will find a way to speak to that on our show.
Great.
So that you can be free again. You can let go of your guilt. You can forgive. You can have all of the peace back inside you that you deserve to have.
Yes.
So we're trying to first give women, in an age where we feel like, yes, the Me Too movement came up here, but there's also this movement of shut up, shut up, shut up. It's not okay to talk about certain things.
Right.
So we're just talking about it. Like, we're just getting in the trash can, we're like pulling out, hey, did you see this pair of undies? So that's one big thing.
Okay.
The second thing is, it's really to bring men and women together.
Okay.
So that's why I had that sort of quick comment about Jesus and Mary.
Yeah.
Because the consciousness of the masculine and the feminine, or the directional and the swirling, whatever we want to call it, is those have to come together, and they have to grow together for our consciousness to really blossom. And that, that is the teaching, I believe, of the most pure teaching of Jesus, is that it's come together in oneness. You are me, I am you. We look like we're three people, but there's no such
only
thing.
one. There's only one. Yeah.
So underneath it all is this oneness consciousness that everything is healable, everything is forgiven, everything is done, and we are one. And then we talk about it on a surface level, like, how the fuck did you do with this? What do you do when you have a flat tire and you're just like, fucking A,
I forgot what the question is. It's something about the podcast.
She took all the answers. She just
beat that.
No, she's got all her.
What do you think is possible for your podcast? What do you think is possible to give out into the world?
I think for me it was making spirituality relatable to the everyday person. For the person who thinks, like, I can't think that way, or I can't do that, or my family believes this, so I'm stuck here, or I live in this state, so it has to be this way. Like, I just think there's so many rules that people have put on themselves. So I feel like we're kind of breaking through those rules and saying it's all okay. And then I think one of my biggest messages is like, everything that's happening to you is happening for you.
I love that. Yes.
And when we can get people to really drop into that and understand that, it makes their lives so much easier to handle and to be with.
Yes. Well, ladies, absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. This has been just an amazing time to spend with you.
Thank you.
And I want all of you, go check out the podcast. The Holy Fuck podcast is amazing. And you see these two beautiful ladies, they're beautiful lights. Passion and commitment is what I feel from the two of you.
Thank you, Gina.
Really, really, really blessed. We've got to sing our song out. I'm going to have all the information below on them, so I want you to check it out, share it. Also, new to the show, I am now on PayPal. I'm going to say, what the fuck? If Pass the Mic is inspiring to you and you want to see the show grow, go to my PayPal, donate, give some love.
Give her some love.
Got some love for you. Got some love for you.
Share some love.
So it is. It's all good. I'm very excited about that. And
can I just say one thing?
Sure.
I just want to say to this audience that this being, this human that is here as Gina Walker today with us, is palpably loving and kind and harmless in her interactions with the world. And she has pure genius, voice, consciousness, love to share. So if you're even slightly inspired, please give her from your hearts, your abundance, to fund this work she's doing, because it's super valuable.
Such beautiful work.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us on your show. It's really
This is the best. We will revisit again for sure.
Awesome.
Because I want to keep up with what they're doing, and I love to support shows that are breaking the mold. And breaking the mold in the sense that we are so much more than our littleness.
Oh, yeah. Gosh,
and
sure.
you ladies are shining big time, and you're speaking out big. And so, we wanna be about it. We want to support it. We want to be involved with it because it inspires you to shine your true colors. I love it. I didn't tell them to pick that song. It always works out perfect. That's just a little inside secret. When you shine your true colors, you shine the light of this universe in a way unlike anything else. And that elevates every last one of us to smile, to live, to love, to enjoy, and to have fun in this world. So,
bring your beauty. Spread the love.
I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. beautiful, like a rainbow. Thank you again for joining us on Pass the Mic. I will see you next week. And remember, shine your true colors no matter what. Check out What the Holy Fuck podcast and enjoy your life. We'll see you next week on Pass the Mic.
Spread the love.